It's the Social Development Month, and the minister heading that department, Lindiwe Zulu, says over 6 million new people have benefited from the Social Relief Distress Grant on a monthly basis. Now, the department says it has paid out almost 20 billion rand towards this grant and almost 30 billion for additional top-ups to existing grants during this period. Joining me now is the Social Development Minister, Lindiwe Zulu, who speaks to us via the virtual platform. Minister, a very good morning to you. Thank you for your time. Give us just how far your practical interventions have gone in assisting those who live below the breadline.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Yes, of course, this is the Department of Social Development month, which is October, which is Social Development Month. But it's not only a month related to the activities of the department. It is also a month where all other people who support the department in the work that they do in the social sector. It is a month that we expect them to highlight the work that they are doing. Of course, this month is a very difficult month for us because yet again, we are still under the challenges of COVID-19. Yet again, we have huge numbers of people who are unemployed. Yet again, we've got unemployment really becoming and being one of the most difficult issues that the government of the African National Congress and the people of South Africa have to deal with. So what we have been doing as a department, immediately after the start of COVID-19, you will recall that President Cyril Ramaphosa announced a package, which is a broader package, which is not only a package that was related to the 350, because the 350 seems to be the most popular one that we talk about. But the bottom line is that there was an amount that was spent in addition to the social grants that people normally get under normal circumstances. So that's the package. The whole package falls within the broader social relief of distress that government decided to embark upon in order to make sure that we help our people, particularly those who are struggling because of unemployment.
Yeah, Minister, you will know that the newly appointed Finance Minister has been talking, and he does seem to raise issues about affordability. How much would you say has been spent thus far, particularly in helping those who have struggled during these difficult 2 years?
Well, listen, we have been able to almost pay over 13 billion. And I know that 13 billion is the money and well, not controversy. I don't want to call it controversy. I call it is the affordability that you are talking about. Can we afford it? From the very beginning when COVID-19 started, remember from the very beginning there was, we can't afford it, we can't afford it, we can't afford it. But because the government is a government that has to find solutions to some of these problems, through our engagements with the Department of Finance, Treasury, and all other relevant departments, the money was found. And the money was found because we needed to respond to the needs of our people, particularly the ones who are vulnerable. So we are not in a discussion about the affordability of the past because this money has been paid to our people. And President Cyril Ramaphosa also extended the time for the payment until next year, 2022. And then again, the money was found. And the reason why the money was found is because many of our departments have to sacrifice one way or the other, not only for the 350 that we are talking about, not only for social development. We've had to sacrifice even for the Department of Health in particular, because now we were settled with new challenges of PPEs, new challenges of hospitals, new challenges. Now we are dealing with the vaccines and the vaccination. So it's a question of the political will that the government has in ensuring that we talk to each other, we work with each other, we find solution to this. So the past 13 billion that we are talking about, we did find it, and people have been paid, and people continue to be paid right now. With regard to the 350, they will be paid until next year in March. Let us also not forget the fact that social development, which covers all other social, which covers all other people like the elderly, covers people with disability, covers children. That amount of money is always standard, is always announced by the Minister of Finance at the beginning of the year. We are but to the midterm announcements that will have to be announced by the Minister of Finance, because that's the midterm that also has to cover even the amount of money that has to be paid until next year in terms of the 350 for the social relief of distress.
I'm glad, Minister, you use words like political will, and you are very forceful as well in your language about how money needed to be found, and it was found. You're also referring to this social distress relief grant being extended to March next year. That's something that indeed has been announced. However, how much of this, as critics would say, is also to do with the election period that we are in? Is the ANC using this as some kind of leverage?
Simple and straightforward. We are not using this for any electioneering. Electioneering has got its own space and discussions that are related to how government will respond, which, by the way, the governing party at the moment, like all other political parties who are wishing and hoping that they will be able to take over something, they have a manifesto which they have announced. This government of the African National Congress also has a manifesto, and it's that manifesto where we express ourselves what exactly we are going to be doing as the government of the African National Congress. This that we are doing right now was imposed almost by COVID-19, and we needed to respond because of COVID-19. And by the way, when it comes to the 350, which is quite popular, there was research that was done, not only by the department. We did SNAP research as a department. Other organizations independently did their own research and came back to express to us how the 350, little as it is, how the 350 has been able to help our people, at least ngesizulu kuthiwa baxoshika eziko. That's exactly what the 350 has done. Nothing has changed in as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Nothing much has changed in as far as the job losses, even though the latest figures that were released, they show some kind of a relief. Nothing has changed for the majority of our people when it comes to their day-to-day needs. So we are doing this because we are a government that has responded to the needs of our people, and the research is what even propelled us to do that more. May I also say, Xoli, even before the president made a decision to extend, the Department of Social Development had made its own presentation that was at the end of, towards the end of the 350, which was announced by the president. We made our own presentations both to cabinet and to finance, and indicated that what we have seen, what the 350 has done, we are requesting that it be extended until next year. But we're also conscious of the fact that the money needs to be found. So before the president even made the announcement, this department proactively had already made the request that, considering what the 350 has done for our people, can we please look for a way of extending it? So there's no electioneering here. It is simply a response to the needs of our people having been affected by COVID-19.
Something else, Minister, that got South Africans talking, in particular big business, was the proposed basic income grant. As far as the policy development level is concerned, where are discussions as far as this is concerned?
Yes, the discussions are still on the table. The discussions have gone through, as I said much earlier on, went through the ANC's own processes. The discussions went through into Parliament itself, and the majority of the political parties there supported it. The public supports it. NEDLEC has also had its own discussions. Where we are right now, the department has already developed a paper that obviously will have to be finalized. Things have to go through cabinet, and it has not gone through cabinet as in the form of the proposals, because when all is said and done right now, it's not about do we still need it, do we still have to do it. It is we need it because this 350, for instance, has been almost like a stepping stone, has been showing us that South Africans, particularly those between the ages of 19 in between, it is very clear that we have to do it. The issue is the how, the issue is what is the costing, the issue is where are we going to get the money from. And as a Department of Social Development, we are saying not only to our own government, because this is our government, we are saying this thing needs to be taken very seriously, because also some other countries went through it, they implemented it. But when all is said and done, how do we lift up the majority of South Africans who wake up in the morning, who actually want to do something? Some want to sell tomatoes on the street, some want to sell something, some want to start puzzle shops and all. So they need to have something that can enable them to do that. Some of them even want to go to the internet cafe to go and look for jobs. They want to do something.
Yeah.
South Africans want to get up and do something, but the challenge that they have, there are no means for many of them to do that. And we believe that if we had the basic income grant, many of the South Africans would be able to use that, not only just for consumption purposes, but for looking for opportunities. And besides, the money that we are talking about, the 350 that has been given to people, the 13 billion that we are talking about, this is money that went back into the economy because our people were buying basic things of sugar, bread, milk. That money goes back. People are not keeping the money in their homes under mattresses. They go and buy the most basic things that they need for their livelihoods.
Yeah.
And that's why we think the basic income grant will continue to engage until it is done.
All right. Minister, well, I suspect the next time we talk, as time is often the enemy, we're going to talk about whether or not the ANC government is creating a state of dependency here. But that's a discussion for another day. For the time being, thank you very much for your time, Social Development Minister Lindiwe Zulu.